to UP Rural High School, where our world runs throughout every Fridays and Saturdays. We are Jika,
Ariana,
Athena?
and Hillary.
and you're watching our VUCA vlog.
During the pandemic, educational institutions were forced to halt operations due to the overwhelming positivity rate of COVID cases. So, as good students under the institution, we stayed home. We coped through watching Netflix, learning pandemic recipes, or anything to pass the time. Really. Back then, we didn't realize the change that our early vacation marked. Changes we normalize.
Wait. How did we end up here?
Finally, an email about updates on the face-to-face classes.
Our school's effort to accommodate students and ensure our well-being was truly evident. The factors we needed to consider really skyrocketed because they now included student location, well-being, health condition, and transportation, all the while ensuring that the students are learning.
We wanted to make sure that our experiences were uniform. So being natural social animals, we decided to test our guesses or hypotheses and consult our peers by asking them some questions.
How did you know about the resumption of classes?
From announcements from my mom.
Nalaman ko from my mom.
Through Gmail.
Sa announcements.
Mula nga dun sa Infosys.
We were contacted via email.
Email lang sa amin ng Infosys dati.
Na-contact ng email.
It appears that some of our respondents were informed directly through an email sent by the institution's information system or indirectly by their parents.
Do you prefer learning online or face-to-face?
Face-to-face. Say that I prefer learning face-to-face.
Face-to-face more.
100% F to F.
Face-to-face.
So para sa akin, yung blended.
Blended.
Siguro blended.
Mas prefer ko ang blended.
The variety in their answers and in their reasonings were quite expected because students will always prefer whichever mode of learning that works for them best.
Approximately what time do you want to get home and get to school?
2:30 to 3:30. Well, 7:30 a.m. classes is kind of fine naman, I guess. Mas gusto kong pumasok ng 8 a.m. 8 a.m. okay na sa akin. At least like 2:30. Lahat na tayo awas na. I'm willing naman to go here early. In terms of go home, well, I mean, I'm okay with the schedule with my ate right now, 4:30.
Kung nakakapunta dito, mga 7 or 8.
Gusto ko sana 8 o'clock.
Maganda sana kung half day, 8 to 12, or 8 to 3.
8 o'clock siguro. Mas okay sana kung mga 5 or 4 nasa bahay na ka.
Actually, same din. 8 to 3.
Again, we received different answers, but it seems that students prefer to be home at around 2 to 3 p.m. and arrive at school at around 8 to 9 a.m. Now that we have gathered our data, it's time to draw a conclusion.
How do we thrive in a VUCA world? Jika, take it away. Naturally, we'll encounter disruptions, but we have to keep going. So, from our accumulated data, we formulated 4 actions to combat the challenges of VUCA. Introducing the inverse VUCA, consisting of transparency that released volatility, like how our school informed us about face-to-face classes through emails. Second, preparedness that solves uncertainties like how our school ensured the students' safe return by abiding to health protocols. Third, setting priorities that lessen the complexity of decision-making, like how our school created our schedules. And finally, crowdsourcing that reduces ambiguity, like how our school considered the students' circumstances through surveys. In general, thriving in the VUCA world requires us to be vigilant to changes and be prepared for disruptions. Because despite the ambiguity of our surroundings, preparedness can overpower uncertainty.
Conducting this vlog, we discovered the flexibility of our digital technology. And despite the impacts of VUCA World brings, the youth still manages to bring smiles, laughter, humor, and compassion into their daily routines, all the while persevering and persisting through the waves of change.
So, policymakers and educators should match this enthusiasm.
Like the response of our institution, we expect the same level of transparency and accountability for the community. by optimizing the online setups, constructing a group of analytic problem solvers strictly assigned to formulate urgent calculated solutions, and inform the community like the UP information system and our administrators.
And by relying on the smaller scale of government units to observe the communities through micro-leveled operations, just like our school's effort to ensure a smooth transition to face-to-face classes, we eliminate uncertainty.
As a youth living in the VUCA world, we're the most susceptible and vulnerable to change. So instead of arguing about what's right and wrong, we should focus on learning what does and doesn't work. Because to quote our national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal,
Ang kabataan, ang pag-asa ng bayan.